Hey there, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2022. And just a quick reminder, if you are ever curious about getting a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. It's a self-schedule system. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, let's start with the Sun. Where is the attention, enhancement, and support going for you, or coming from this month? Well, it's in your 8th house, Taurus, through the 20th of the month. Now, the 8th house is one of those funny houses. It kind of governs a lot. We're talking about shared resources, passive income, intimacy, erotic expression, self-employment earnings, as well as even spousal contributions or business partner contributions to joint finance operations. So, a lot. With the Sun in the 8th house, you are finding that when it comes to, say, supplemental income, sales, commissions, tips, self-employment money, side hustles, things like that, your profits are really on the rise here. And this can also talk about investments that you've made. This is where the yield that you are used to getting from these avenues every month is going through a sharp increase. And you're going to be sitting quite pretty. Things are very, very comfortable for you here. You're also going to find that with the Sun in the 8th house, something that you have been longing to maybe purchase or invest in terms of being able to enhance your quality of life, right? Enhancement is now more easily accessible to you than before. Sometimes this comes in the form of support like a gift. We may not have to spend anything on it, or it is something that is made accessible to us through the means that we have, or all of this, extra money that seems to be coming to us in the first 3 weeks of the month. After the 20th, we've got the Sun moving on into Gemini for the duration of May and on into June. This is your 9th house of higher education, government and legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your spiritual path and practice, and your reach. And you're going to be noticing that the laws of the land around you are changing, whether these are policies, standards, trends, cultural sensibilities. A lot of things are shifting in both in 3 different areas in particular: your social life, your professional life, and your academic life. This can also apply to your spiritual life if you're on a spiritual path. But what's happening here is all of these areas are transforming in such a way where, again, what was normal is getting transmuted into something that is much more supportive and complementary to you. Now, this can be, of course, contracts, ordinances, standards, and policies, say in the job or in school, that are allowing you to propagate yourself or grow your own presence in such a way where you can conquer new territory. In fact, territorial expansion is also a big theme when it comes to the Sun in the 9th house. So a lot of you may be finding that you are able to connect to a wider social network during this time, which is going to be lifting you up both personally and professionally. Travel opportunities are going to be quite abundant, especially for those of you that are looking to maybe get set up for a few months from now. And you may also find that with the Sun in the 9th house, you are getting recognized for things that maybe got passed over or were not very appreciated or understood or even noticed in the past. We have Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and that obstacle-clearing driving force moving through Pisces through the 24th of the month. And this is your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, the teams you're on, right? And the services that you offer to the world. And with Mars in the 6th house, you are coming into a very competitive way when it comes to how your reputation is moving through your world, whether it's your professional world or your personal world. Mars here is giving you a chance to elevate your position, but you are going to have to be ready to compete in certain spaces. You may be noticing as well a lot of overtime opportunities are presenting. We tend to see Overtime being a big theme with Mars in a work area such as houses 2, 6, or 10. In your case, this is house 6. And you are also going to find with Mars in the 6th house that you are able to push yourself into some kind of new routine that is much more helpful to you when it comes to elevating your own material comfort or your own material quality of life. However, with Mars in the 6th house, things can get pretty dicey every once in a while, especially when it comes to the social factors of the workspace. And we want to make sure that we are not letting any kind of animosity or any kind of aggression get the better of us. And you want to make sure that during this time with Mars, you are using this to give yourself a new name and change how people see you to be the way that you want to be seen, treated, and respected. And your actions, your thoughts, your deeds, and your words have to be consistent. After the 24th, we've got Mars moving on into Aries, your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you spend your closest one-on-one involvements with or have your closest one-on-one involvements with. And Mars in the 7th is all about knocking down walls, clearing and eliminating obstacles, and opening roads. So this can be a twofold blessing. You know, if you are looking to get into some kind of new partnership, whether it's get established in a romantic partnership, meet somebody new, or maybe you are looking to start a business alliance or a business partnership of some kind, or if you are already involved in some kind of partnership, business, romantic, marital, or even just something with a friend, any kind of walls or blocks to a road you've been on towards a desired goal or something we've been mutually investing in or striving for, those rocks and those boulders are going to be getting blown to bits. Mars here is also going to be removing a lot of burdens, a lot of intrusions, or a lot of distractions or annoyances that may be hovering around a lot of partnerships and alliances that you have. And it's also going to be pulling apart any kind of walls or blockages or old shadows from the past as it relates to either you, your partner, or the union. This is, however, going to be a time where Mars is also going to be working on helping us be closer to each other, be more intimate, and that can require some collisions every once in a while, because that way we can knock down the wall between our hearts or between our ideals or between our ambitions and make sure that the bond is strong. So we got to make sure that we are okay with that every once in a while, because we all know a healthy, strong partnership, whatever kind of partnership it is one where people can feel okay with a clash every now and then and not have it turn into a dumpster fire, right? We need to be able to clash with people and not have the world come to an end or it go out of control. And so this is going to be a very interesting month and a half, but it is going to be working on making sure the strongest bonds are made. We also have Venus in this part of your chart as well. Sorry, I got a Persephone hair there. We got Venus in this part of your chart as well, which is going to basically be the entire month. We've got Venus in your 7th house from May 2nd to the 28th, bringing that love, favor, popularity, and affection into all of your closest one-on-one connections. And so it is kind of cutting blunting the edge of a bit of that Mars influence at the end of the month, which is nice. But Venus is bringing in more acts of generosity, more comfort, more relaxation, more levity into your closest connections. Also attracting new partner potentials to you all the more easily. Venus in the 7th house is a time where a lot of love languages get perfected, and you may also find that for those of you that are looking to get established in a new partnership, or you're looking to attract a new partnership or alliance of some kind, you are going to be finding people that are perfect matches for your language and your style. And for those of you who are currently in established partnerships, whatever kind of partnership it is, everyone is now getting a chance to completely meet and merge. And we have kind of created this perfect new normal for long-term alliances across the board. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, haste, and speed, and productivity, and all of that good stuff, moving in a very funny way this month. We've got Mercury direct in Gemini through the 10th of the month, then retrograde in Gemini from the 10th through the 22nd, and then retrograding all the way back into Taurus through the 3rd of June from the 22nd on, and then Mercury will turn direct at that time. So we'll take it one at a time because it's really confusing. Mercury direct in your 9th house of higher education, government and legal proceedings, travel, culture, your spiritual path and practice, and your reach is speeding up a lot, the fruition of a lot of accomplishments that you're trying to get done as it relates to your education, the wide world, publications, travel plans, whether you're trying to establish them for later on in the year, or anything where you are trying to propagate your name and spread awareness about yourself. This is also a time where we are speeding up the completion of a lot of commitments or a lot of old contracts or ties that you had in the past. However, after Mercury goes retrograde, now we are also seeing where, because of all of these accomplishments and because of all of these breakthroughs, we need to revise or even undo a lot of commitments or a lot of involvements that we have sustained until this point because we can't work with them anymore. We can't work under those conditions anymore. We may have to revise our schedule. We may have to find a way to appeal for maybe a different shift. Mercury retrograde can be very advantageous, especially if you are involved in some kind of academic or professional situation where you would like to maybe make a transfer, make a revision to an employment contract. This is a great time for that, but just keep in mind that Mercury retrograde does require you to be ready to go back on things that you already said you would do, but it is giving you an easy way to do that. Mercury retrograde here, however, is going to perhaps require some of you who may be traveling or test taking between the 10th and the 22nd of the month to dot your I's, cross your T's, and be extra vigilant because this is more of a textbook retrograde kind of feel. And you know me, I'm not really all about the exoteric and textbook interpretations, but in this one case between the 10th and the 22nd, please exercise a bit of care. This is also a time where you may need to follow up a lot more with communications that you have put out there. People might be misunderstanding what you're saying, or some people are just really shitty communicators with you, and you may have to go and ask for some clarity. After the 22nd, we've got Mercury retrograding back into Taurus, that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, and self-employment earnings. Now, Mercury retrograde in the 8th house is actually one of the sort of easy places to have Mercury retrograde because it's all about settling balances. It's all about putting everything back where it belongs. And so for a lot of you Libra people, this is going to be a time where you are getting a chance to have things that don't belong to you go back where they belong. Whether these are responsibilities or maybe burdens you've incurred or any kind of, any kind of materials or any kind of circumstances that you have acquired in your life that don't belong to you and need to go back where they truly belong are going to be taken out. And you are going to be collecting things that do belong to you, that do need to be in your space, that have meant to come to you or belong with you and remain with you. This, of course, applies across the board. We could be talking about material circumstances and things like money. We could be talking about opportunities. We could be talking about credit. But this is all about balancing all scales. We also have Jupiter, the planet of wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck, making a big move this month. On the 10th, Jupiter enters Aries, your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. And Jupiter is going to be here through the 28th of October of this year, and then fully commit to Aries next year. With Jupiter in the 7th house of partnerships, we see that wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck focus amplify, because Jupiter in your 7th house is setting up all partnerships and unions that you have for a new kind of prosperity or a new kind of long-term wealth and abundance. This is going to be affecting your money, your partner's money, your private business, and your business partnerships all alike. This is also a time where potentially lucrative partnerships are going to start manifesting quite consistently between the 10th of May and the 28th of October. And a lot of you are also going to find that Jupiter is a very blessed time to have, occupying or blessed planet to have occupying your 7th house, because this is a time of expansion when it comes to all relationships. Some of you may be getting engaged or even married over the course of this next 2 years, whether we have that, occur between the 10th of May and the 28th of October or next year. We certainly seem to be heading in that direction. We also have Jupiter in the 7th house, allowing for expansion of relationship opportunities to occur because of the joining of forces or merging of assets and resources, which could be, a result of marriage, or if you don't believe in marriage, some other kind of agreement, or maybe it's something platonic like a business partnership or a family partnership or a union between friends. This is a time where those of you who are single or available to new people are going to be having your hands full. And I mean that as a double entendre, because this is a time where a lot of partner potentials are going to be coming quite frequently. And a lot of people that are good fits for the exact kind of future I just spoke of are going to be quite prevalent. And so you're going to be hitting the town a lot as well. We have a full moon lunar eclipse occurring in Scorpio on May 16th. This is all about culminations, transitions, and endings, as all full moons are. But because it's a lunar eclipse, we're seeing this amplified and expanded in its window period of influence. Normally, a full moon only lasts about 2 weeks in its influence. Well, because this is an eclipse, we're going to be feeling this from the 16th of May through about mid-August. And a full moon lunar eclipse in the 2nd house of earned income, values, valuables, and your finances and your salary is indicating a major turn or a major road change when it comes to your work life and your career. Now, this could be a time where a lot of you change jobs. In fact, with a full moon lunar eclipse in the 2nd house, it's not unlikely that somebody may decide to transfer out, jump departments, or even put in their notice because a superior job opportunity falls in their lap. If you are not thinking about jumping ship when it comes to your job, or you work for yourself, you run your own business, a full moon lunar eclipse still indicates a major departure from the populations, the assignments, or maybe the usual income sources that you have in favor of something that is far superior. However, with a full moon here, it's important to understand that these transitions may come on in a way that are pretty demanding, so you're going to want to make sure that you can see this through. This is also a time where some of you may be purging or eliminating some kind of debt or chronic financial weight that's been on your back or on your family's back for some time. Finally, we have a new moon in Gemini on May 30th. That's that 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, reach, and all of that good stuff, your spiritual path and practice. And a new moon is all about seed planting and initiations, new beginnings. What we see here, going back to that discussion of a new territory, a lot of you Libra people are going to be finding that you are hitting it big with a new crowd of people, however this is going to go for you. Whether this is new community, new clients and customers, new coworkers, it doesn't matter. A new crowd takes you out of your element for your better. Now, a lot of you may find that this is pulling you out of familiar territory where you've been accustomed for quite some time. And this could even create some culture shocks or some sociology shocks every once in a while. But this is something that is giving you a chance for a new lease on life and a fresh launch with something that is very near and dear to your heart. This could also indicate the precipitation of, yes, a big travel opportunity or a move itself. So that is what I've got for you Libra people. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.